Alright, today we have the Zeiss Ikon WSW. This is the exterior version of the lock. The difference is versus the interior is this has 7 side pins in it, whereas the interior only has 5. The 5 would be on just one side. The exterior introduces a second sidebar with 2 pins. So it has a sidebar on the left side with 5 side pins and one on the right with 2 side pins. It also has 6 pins across the top that are fairly trivial to set. So there's the lock. What's crazy about this is it has some crazy mechanism on the cam in the back. So we'll get to taking that part. I didn't see many people showing you how to take that part, and it takes some figuring out. So I think it's worth showing. Hopefully we'll be able to fit it all in the video because I have the time limit. All right, so I'm going to apply some counterclockwise tension with a Z-bar. It's a multi-pick Z-bar, just what I had. I don't know why I have a flag pick in my hand. All right, I got a hook number 7 from Peterson. It's the fatter one. It fits in here just nice. And I'll start from the back. So pin 6 is springy. So it's standard jiggle testing. Springy on 5. 4 is binding. My whole Z-bar is moving. There we go. Click from 4. Or was that me falling? That might have been just me falling off. All right, now we got to click from 4. That was just me falling off the actual pin with the pick. I'll check 6 and 5 again. Springy, springy. 4 is springy, like not springy, sorry, jiggling. 3 has a lot of range of movement, so that one I would call springy. Okay, it's not binding. I should clarify my terms. Springy would be not binding, and then jiggling is I can feel the springiness of a bound pin. Number 2 is binding, so I'll go ahead and set that. I think I just fell off the pin there. Keep falling off. All right, that's set. I felt a little plug rotation when I set number 2. Pin 1. Pin 1 is just springy. So I'll go back again. Let's see. S2 is now jiggling. Pin 3 is binding now. All right, that went up some. I'm not sure. I think I'm just falling off the pin. I think this is 3 here. Interesting. All right, let me make sure I'm on the right pin. 1 is springy, 2 is jiggling, 3 is binding. Okay, I got click out of it, and some more plug rotation. Let's see, number 1. 1 is binding lightly. Got a little click out of it. 2 is jiggling, 3 is jiggling, 4 is jiggling. 5 might be binding. Now it's jiggling. 6, little click from it, now it's jiggling. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, 1 feels like it's binding again. And I got a little bit of plug rotation out of that. So I think they're all set. We'll go ahead and switch tension to the top so I can work on the sliders underneath. And this will tell me for sure if my if I'm set or not. So I'll grab this. No, I'll grab this. This is an MP10 multi-pick number 10 flag. I'll start. Well, I already feel the one on the right is binding. So I'm going to start on the right. And pin 1, I'm trying to get under it. It's a little bit hard to get under. So it must be in a false gate right now because it's not moving at all. It's stuck hard. So I got it to click up 1. I'm pushing on it. It's still not moving at all. It's stuck hard. Went it up a second click. Still not moving, stuck hard. 3, still not moving, stuck hard. 4, okay, now I can see it jiggles. So it's springy. I know on the right side, there's only 2 pins. The second one is in slot 5. So 3, 4, and here is slot 5. It can be difficult to get under all the way back there. And this takes me a second to find it. All right, I think that's it right there. Nope. Having a hard time getting under it. So most of the problem with this one in the back is getting under it. No. Yeah, I think I'm not getting under it. Let me try again. Checking one. One is still jiggling. 2, 3, 4. My kids are making so much noise I can't hear a thing. They're yelling my name and they're screaming even though I told them I was going to come down here to make a video. Let's see. Let me underneath. I'm letting off a little tension. I'm thinking that it's not letting me slide under. I think I'm under now. Am I? No, I can't lift it at all. I'm not lifting it at all. Hard times. Try again. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, can they be quieter? Why are they so loud? Can't hear a thing that this lock is saying to me. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with getting under number pin 5. Let's see. If that is down, then my flag is to the right. Okay, because I'm losing track of where my flag is. I don't like these multi-pick handles. They really don't tell me much that I need to know. And they're hard to... Alright, I got a turn out of pin 5, but that dropped my pin 1. I'm going to come back to the beginning. I hope I didn't drop my top pins. No, I'm still getting binding out pin 1. I remember that had to go up like 3 or 4 clicks, so it's still binding, and now it's jiggling. Go back again and see if 5 is still lifted or if we lost 5. So this is one thing that this sidebar will do, is kind of a little bit of ping pong action. I guess that's what makes this the rating that it is as far as lock difficulty goes. And getting under that 5th pin is a pain in the butt. Alright, first pin is set again. 2, 3, 4. Come on, let me under. Okay. Now it feels set. I feel jiggle from pin 5. So that took absolutely forever. Testing the 1, jiggle from 1. Let's see if we got binders on the left now. Indeed, 1 just gave me a little click and now it's jiggling. 2, binding. Click from 2, still binding. Another click from 2. It's giving me spring motion, so it's jiggling, but it might still not be up. 3, click. 3 seems to be giving me some spring action. Let me go back to 2 to make sure. 2 spring action, 1 spring action. 3. Is 3 even up? I can't really tell. I don't have light from the front or anything like that. I'm just doing it by feel. Yeah, I feel 3 is binding. Click. Still binding. If I have too hard of a time lifting, I can switch to another pick, especially if something is like a really high lift or a max lift, because this one is getting really high up there and it feels like it's still binding. 1. I'm going to test that actually. Let's switch to this this Honest Dongxi flag I have, and it goes a little bit higher. So 2 is definitely springy. 3 is springy. 4 is binding, lifting 4. 4 is still binding. I lifted it twice, I'm going to lift it a third time. Okay, it is lifting one more time, but then it falls back down again. So I'm going to check 5. I'm going to switch back to this multi-pick. 1, still springy. You have to go check them a lot because either they'll fall or they'll, after you set another one into a false gate, a different one that you set before will start to bind again in a new false gate. So you have to go back and forth between the side pins, I find a lot. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see 4 fell down. So I'm lifting it back up again. Okay, and 5. 5 is springy. All right, go back to the beginning again. 1 springy, 2 springy, 3's hard to tell with this multi-pick, but sounds like it's springy at least, what I can hear over the children. 4 feels springy at this point, and 5 is springy. Okay, I'm turning up the tension now to check for that these are actually not binding. 3 feels like it's binding when I turn the tension up, so I think 3 needs to go higher, but this multi-pick has a hard time lifting it higher. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'll let off the tension some in order to lift 3. All right, I lifted it, and now it's springy. I'll go back to the multi-pick. The multi-pick gives me a little bit better feedback. Usually I prefer that large pick for feedback, but in this lock, the multi-pick seems to give me more feedback. 4 is oh, 4 was barely binding, and now it's loose. 5 is binding. Now it's loose. Go back to 4. 4 feels like it's jiggling. 3 I can't tell, it's kind of high. 2 was binding slightly, but I got a little click and it's jiggling. 1 is definitely jiggling. 2 feels like it's jiggling. 3 I can't feel, it's too high. Go back to my high lift. 2, 3. 3 feels like it's jiggling. 4 feels like it's jiggling. 5 feels like it's jiggling. So everything feels more or less set on this left side. There's no reason for the right side to have given it up. Right side, first pin is still jiggling. Let's see, 2. I'm looking at the left side again. 3. 4. 4 feels binding. There we go. So it's just a matter of keep going back and forth, and testing for it. In any case, we're open. So let's go ahead and attempt the gut. Take this guy out of here. Get some autofocus going. And bring in a plethora of tools. So to remove this, I had to punch out. Oh, I didn't bring out my screwdrivers. This might be hard. I had to punch out both of these pins. Okay, there's 3 pins up top. You're going to notice that one side the dimple is shallow, the other side the dimple's deep. So you want to punch it from the deep side and get those out. Then that will allow this back piece to come off, but it doesn't come off yet because this piece is holding it in. So what you need to do is there is a pin inside the cam here. I'm going to lift it up while it's in the unlocked position because I have it such that it's blocked. But I'm going to now lock it back up after I move the cam one position. Maybe I didn't manage to do it. Lift up that pin inside and get it to spin independent of the lock. Lock that back up. Now it's on the side, right? So what I want to do is I want to lift that up, get it to an in-between position, and then I want to lift it up again. Okay, so I'm lifting it as high as it can go, and there's this inner sleeve here, and if you lift that even higher, you can now rotate the outer cam independent from the inner sleeve. See, that inner sleeve is staying in place as I rotate the outer cam, and I want to line it up with this cut here. Okay, the opening there, because that's going to allow this piece here, you can see the whole thing rotates, that's going to allow this piece here to fall out if you get it lined up. So there's the line on the other side, and that piece falls out. Okay, so that's like a little sleeve there. Inside here are 2 more pieces that are going to fall out in a similar manner, but you're going to see they don't rotate because they're actually what's holding the back and the front together, and there's a little bar in there that stops these from rotating. So what you're going to do is you're going to rotate this outer piece around. That cam button is being held up because it's pushing on a piece that's like this inside there, but you can't take the other one out because the other one's actually a complete ring holding it in there. It'll make more sense when I take it out. So there are 2 pieces in here. One of them seems to be wider than this exit point, and the other one will fit. And the other one you can also, while rotating the cam back and forth, you should be able to drop it out. There it is. So this is the what I call the smooth one. It doesn't have any sort of notch in it, okay? So that's the second one. The third one, you just rotate the cam 180, and there's that third one. And again, if you hold it gravity down, you can rotate the cam back and forth, and that piece falls out. So that piece is got the groove on it, and that's what stops this thing turning, and it turns it together with the key. So the key will allow this piece to turn like that. A whole bunch of other pieces fell off, so I'm going to put them back on just to show how they were on here. Like that. And then this piece was in the back here. Okay, so once you remove those inner pieces, these pieces were clamping this back brass piece to the plug itself. So that means that you can now remove this back brass piece, okay, like that. And it has this little like steel looking insert too. You see that steel insert? I don't know if it makes a difference which way you put this. You can put, it has like a little arrow sticking out of it and an arrow sticking in. I don't know if you can put it that way. It doesn't seem like it, but I don't know. I always put it so that the arrow points towards the plug. I don't know if it matters. Now, with that piece out, this top piece is no longer held on. You could have waited to punch the 2 pins out until this point and then remove that piece. And now this cam is free to come off, and you can see there was this inner sleeve in here that's separate like that, okay? I'm gonna leave that because that's holding this cam pin in. If I were to rotate this or take it out, that cam pin would come out along with its spring, okay? So if that comes out, you know, they just go in there and you can hold it with this sleeve. And then this, I don't know if it matters which direction it faces, but I like to make this pin face towards the plug. So there's that. Now we have this C-clip on here, which is a really difficult C-clip to remove. Hopefully it will come off easier because I've taken off once before and I stretched it a little, but there's no guarantee. All right, I got it lifted a little here. Let's see if I can get it removed. Pushing here. And no. Oh, sorry. One more piece fell out. There's a little, you want the lip side to be down here. Like that. It's just a little like aesthetic element. It goes up front there and gets held in with the that top. All right, removing this clip is, because I only brought one screwdriver out with me, is not the easiest. One thing is there's little circular piece on both ends of this, and it does allow it to be expanded a little. The problem with removing this clip is there's a lip around the whole circumference of this, and that lip prevents the clip from expanding any further than that, thus making it difficult to remove. But if you can get underneath the clip here, like that, you can lift it up. And actually, if you can lift it up close enough to the edge of the clip, you should be able to get it out. And I'm scratching up my lock, which I don't like, but come on. I got under it twice before. Oh, I got under the end here. Okay, so now that I got under the end, I can probably just work my way around the whole clip like this. Keep working my way until I get it off. Almost off. So close. It's stuck over here at the very end. There we go. Got the clip off. I don't know how many more times that clip's going to go on and off before it breaks. All right. At this point, you've got this huge gap here on the back. So you're going to want to shim it. This is a Sparrow shim, but if this is too thick for you, you can maybe use a DVD one. It's thinner. We're going to need a key to fit the shim. So I put this in, rotate it slightly, right? And make sure I keep forward key pressure so that when I'm putting the shim, I'm not pushing the whole plug out of the core, right? So let's get a shim in there like this. Don't slide along the shim. You'll slice your finger open. This is not from a shim. This is from a tuna can that I was opening. All right, get that in a decent amount. Get ourselves a follower. Push that in and make sure the shim follows the follower like that. You want to catch both sides of this plug because it has a sidebar on both sides, but they stay in pretty well. Like, not too much issue there. All right, so this left side sidebar, like this, they're just a straight sidebar, so not like the ASA where the bitting is on the sidebar. The bitting is on the pins for these sides. So we'll take that sidebar out. It's got two little sidebar springs. It's kind of cool that this sidebar has like this copper color. You're used to usually seeing like a steel color sidebar. All right, the other side, there we go. Again, it's just a straight, flat sidebar. And we got two springs on this side. There we go, tiny little ones. The key is retaining the bottom pins. I haven't actually ever removed them before, so we'll see what that's like. So you probably want to take the top pins out first, like this, and you see they're little like T pins. Okay, the T pokes down into the chamber, and that's what you're actually picking. So it adds a little bit of difficulty because it's hard to stay on the pins. You notice I slipped off a few times when I was picking these top pins. So that's pin number 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. I'll put it. Hold on, let me see if I have some tweezers. Okay, so pin 6, 5. Ooh, almost lost that one. 4, 3, 2, 1. I actually started working on this earlier today because there was a discussion in LPU on these top things are like they're flattened out slightly, which is really weird. You'd think that increases the shear line size, so that it gives you a much bigger area to set these. So maybe that's why the top pins are so easy. All right, so the key is retaining all these bottom pins. So as I pull this out, they shoot out. Okay, so this was the right side pin 5. So I'll put the right side here, and I'll put the left side above it. Yeah, I'll toss all the springs down here since they're all the same. And there's the left side pin 5. Left side pin 4. There's no right side pin 4, right? Left side pin 3. Did I put that upside down? Left side pin 3. Left side pin 2. And both sides pin 1. Left side and right side pin 1. Okay, there should be 7 springs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 springs. Then the top pins, the top driver pins. There's no counter milling or anything funky with that plug. There's a lot of pieces to this this lock. All right, take the shim out. I have never looked at what these look like. I'm guessing they're all standards. I haven't taken this apart beyond looking at. The only thing I did was take the plug out so that we could look at these flattened out areas, and then I put it back together. So I haven't. Oh, okay. So there's a spool in here. I did feel a little counter rotation when I was picking it, so I guess I should have mentioned that I was feeling that on 2 and 3. So I did feel those spools, but I didn't mention them. 4 has a spool. I did not feel that. I think 4 was such a small lift that the spool never came into play. 5 is a standard, which was also a tiny lift, and 6 was also a tiny lift. So 4, 5, and 6, I didn't lift. I didn't have to lift very far. So if they had any security pins, they would have never come into effect, in my opinion. And indeed, on number 4, I didn't feel the spool at all. Only on 2 and 3. Nothing special inside there. Here are all our pieces, along with the plug. I have 5 minutes. I don't think that's enough to reassemble it. It's basically the reverse of disassembly. People say that assembly is difficult. it didn't seem that bad to me, but again, I didn't have all the pieces removed. I think maybe putting these pins back in here will be a bit of a pain, because it's a little bit of a pain when you're doing like a combi or a twin, and since you're having to do two sides, it's probably a little bit even harder. We have a little time. We have 4 minutes, so let's go ahead and try the first one. Okay, so left side, pin 1. Oh, looking at that, you can see it has a bunch of little false gates on it, and then that one deep true gate. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So that pin 1, this one, there, and the right side. You can see the right side, the cut is all the way towards the bottom, so this one probably didn't need to be, this one probably had to be lifted much higher in order to get to that cut. All right, so now with both of these in, see if I can push them both down. They got to be rotated the right way so the little finger goes into the keyway, and then get the key. Oh, have them down. To get the key, I didn't stick the key in far enough to capture them, so now I got to do it again. Put the key in. I'll put the key in far. Okay, and yeah, so that's how you capture them and go through it. All right, I'll continue to reassemble this, but that is the Zeiss Ikon WSW, the exterior one with the 7 pins, side pins. All right, thanks. Bye.